Just Barbarian Things presents our actual play in Call of Cthulhu Down Darker Trails, available from Chaosium. This set of scenarios is Shadows Over Stillwater, with Courtney, Jesse, and Santiago playing our investigators, and Rainey as the keeper of arcane lore. This is a game of cosmic horror. See the description for additional content warnings. So we established, although each of you have only seen your own telegram so far, unless you shared with each other, which is fine.
Get your eyes off my damn telegram. Get your damn eyes off my telegram.
But, and when I randomly generated this Old West name, I thought of you. But you all know from your past one Tarleton Burette, who is now, he was a lawyer when you both met him originally. But he was a lawyer for part of the time that Santi, your character, knew him too. Mm-hmm. But now he is a justice in the Supreme Court of the New Mexico Territory. And he's trying to make a name for himself. New Mexico is surprisingly political for being frontier area. I think a lot of people would think of it as more frontier than it is, but especially in central and northern New Mexico, there are incredibly established families and communities, which make it highly political compared to true, like, new frontier lands. And so one of the things that he's trying to do is to kind of establish his reputation in this new place by bringing kind of a big case to trial. And what he has set his sights on, because of new information that has come in, is bringing in a wanted man, which some of you have been told about in your telegrams, but not others.
Yes.
So I thought we'd just go down the list. And the way we'll handle it is if you're comfortable reading your own into the record, you may. But if you're not, I will read it for you. It's totally fine. But Santi, yours is the first one because they are in an order.
All right. Postal telegraph, commercial cables, telegram for William Red Cloud. Mr. William Red Cloud, stop. Per your experience serving warrants and executing difficult bounties, stop. Authorized as deputy under Justice Tarleton Burette of NM Territory, stop. Hank Hanratty, wanted dead or alive, reward of $600 to be paid by territory courts, stop. Alive preferred, Mr. Red Cloud, stop. 2 associates will join you to assist, stop. Reported location Stillwater NM, stop. Ted Whitman, local marshal, to provide details, stop.
All right. So you know from yours the name of your quarry, one Hank Hanratty.
Hank Hanratty.
Yeah. You know that the reward listed $600, which in this age is quite the fee. He has been wanted for quite some time. But recently, there came news that he has been sighted in Stillwater, New Mexico. And Stillwater, if you refer to your map, is kind of south side New Mexico. It's not far from the Rio Grande.
I think that's about here.
There's a little X right there, yeah.
Yeah, right here.
It is right by a little set of kind of mesa-laden mountains in that area. And being the south part of New Mexico, it will feel much more like Texas than the rest of New Mexico does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not so much coniferous forest
Yes.
and such, but
This is like cactus and mesa.
steppe.
So, is it Stillwater? or Swillwater?
Stillwater is the
Stillwater.
official name. You'll notice that there are a few residents who have different opinions on the name of the town when you get there, but yes.
Oh, see, people have been doing that clever thing since time immemorial, where they do some more like whatever for their hometown. Yes, you're very clever.
All right, so that's what you know.
That's what you
Billy
know.
Red Cloud.
Billy Red Cloud.
All right, the next one on there is for you, Jesse, for your character.
Oddly enough, mine doesn't have a bunch of stops in it.
Santiago doesn't either. He just puts them in.
Embellished that because that's how it was always. I don't know.
So, to Isaac Pritchard, retired colonel from Tarleton Barrett Justice, New Mexico Territory. Calling in that favor, I need a big case to show my worth here. Hank Hanratty has been wanted for quite some time, reported to be in Stillwater, New Mexico. Bounty man on the case is good, but tends toward dead more than alive on bounties. I need your expertise to make sure he doesn't bleed out before trial. After this, we're square. Will arrange transportation.
Nice.
And then finally, the last one. Courtney, is yours.
To Madame Azalea. Once again, I am in need of your skills. You know how a grand performance can turn a crowd. I need a big ticket trial to launch my reputation here. I have a bounty man and a doctor to do the dirty work. I need you to make sure they get in and out with wanted man. There is money in it. We'll arrange all papers for your legitimate business practice. Go to Stillwater to meet associates.
All right. So that is Madame Azalea. What was your character's name, Jesse?
Isaac Pritchard.
Isaac. Yes. I like Isaac because it has like two A's, right? Or is it two C's?
Two A's.
Two A's.
Two A's. Prit. Chard. All right. Nice. All right. Cool. Into it.
Right. So you each responded saying that you would have in fact taken this job/request.
Heck yes.
So now the idea is there would obviously be some back and forth information, setting up of plans. You would know who you were supposed to meet, not just that there were two other associates. So would you have your names written down?
Meet two random people.
Yeah, look for two other people who show up. So now it's up to you to decide. Would you end up meeting somewhere before Stillwater and traveling into town proper together? Or do you want to set up a rendezvous in Stillwater where you're meeting up at a certain spot in town?
I feel like we meet in Stillwater because that's the instructions on all of our telegrams. Like, otherwise I have no clue how to get a hold of these people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There'd be communication back and forth where you can set something up should you want to.
Oh, sorry. That makes sense. My bad.
No, you're good.
I don't know. I like the idea of meeting in Stillwater, but I'm open to whatever.
All right. You will note in your book, you do have a map of Stillwater with many locations, including the two saloons/inns. If you wanted to choose a location that you would meet to make your arrangements, you can.
All right.
All right, let's
Pick a good one,
Is
Jesse.
there a saloon?
There are two,
Oh.
and they have very different reputations.
There's the, let's see, Sweetwater Saloon, or is it the Buena Suerte Cantina?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Any preferences there?
I mean, you
One of
can
which
also
is
choose to meet
far
at
outside
the
of
marshal's
town.
office if you want to, or at the livery if you want to meet where you're going to be depositing your horses or whatever. There's lots of options.
I was thinking one would be like the Gem, and the other one would be more like the Bella Union.
Well,
It is like that, yes.
Okay, so one is like hoity-toity, and the other one is
One
rough and
is
tumble.
considered rougher than the other.
the Buena Suerte is also almost outside of town.
It's a little outskirty.
You know,
Probably gets a little rowdy.
a little rowdy. I might even be able to rustle up a little business there, so probably the Buena Suerte.
Okay.
Right.
So you have made arrangements with each other to meet on a certain day at the Buena Suerte Cantina in Stillwater. Or at least on the edge of Stillwater proper.
I need to make a Spanish roll to find out what Buena Suerte means.
Sure, go for it. Make the first roll of the game.
Awesome. All right. Oh, 3. Haha, dude.
All right, check your Spanish.
That is like a crazy... No, it's not, actually. But yeah, it is. It is.
It's a good
That's
success.
like 1/7 of 21.
So we'll talk a little bit. This is a good time to talk about crits and fumbles.
Okay.
All right. So crit in Call of Cthulhu, because it is an unforgiving system,
Unforgiving.
happens on an odd one only. But you did make, if it's below your 5th rating,
It is.
you made an extreme success,
Yes.
which is good. A fumble happens in 2 different ways, depends on how good you are at your skill. If your skill is 50 or higher, a fumble can only occur on 100.
Okay.
If your skill is less than 50, so you're trying your luck at something you're not as good at, a fumble can occur anywhere from a 96 to 100. So there's a larger fumble range when it's something you crap at.
Okay.
But yeah, but you know, quite easily, without much trying, that Buena Suerte means good luck. And Cantina means bar.
All right. Good. At the Good Luck Bar. Hell yeah. I'm gonna, I don't know. Can I just say that I'm gonna get there early?
Yeah,
Or
if
do we
you have
to work
arranged for
that
a
out
certain
amongst
date,
ourselves?
you can decide that you're going to be there earlier than that date. That's fine. They may also decide to arrive earlier than that date, of course, if that's not what you've arranged.
Okay.
But yeah, you can choose to be there earlier.
Yeah.
I will say this, because
If
you
show up
made
early, I have to be up
an
early.
extreme success, I think you would have insight that the name Buena Suerte probably comes from the fact that this area is near silver mines or silver mining sites or claims in the nearby mountains.
Okay.
So it's more about good luck in that prospering sort of business that is finding silver in them thar hills,
Okay.
rather than being like as related to like gambling in particular or something like that. Although that's usually how they get the silver away from the miners, is gambling, booze, and whores. So, you know.
That's what you do.
Yes.
That's why you open a joint like that.
Especially on the outskirts of town. Where you're like, this is the first one you see. You have to walk so much farther to get to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what you would know with your Spanish roll.
Thank you.
Good job.
I would like to join the poker game when I get there. While I wait.
All right.
Do a little gambling.
For Dr. Isaac, if you are a real doctor. Because you are being made to travel there, is this something where you would prefer to make your own way, or are you okay with him like hiring a coach for you or something like that to take you? What is your preferred method of travel? Do you want to take the train? There's a train.
Oh yeah, take the train.
So you take the train, and then you probably have a coach that's arranged to take you the rest of the way. And that's good. And then are you taking your caravan wagon thing?
I got like a little wagon with a donkey that pulls it.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's awesome. I have a horse. And like a bedroll and all that. Home on the range.
I was
type
going
shit.
to assume, but I would ask. I know Billy usually roughs it. Yeah, bivouac out there, as it were. So I assume you took your horse and your camping gear and just made your way down.
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. So I know Billy wants to get there early. How early compared to the date you've arranged?
Oh, just like the night before.
Okay.
And I'll hang out that day playing poker.
Okay.
And I'm not very good at it. So I'm not going to like
Are you? What's your gambling?
the base 10.
All right, make a gambling roll.
All right. That's a 10 and a 1.
So 11.
11. There you go. Ooh.
Do you want to spend luck?
Let me spend 1 luck. What?
But no.
To tie it? It's not enough? I just
No,
spend 2?
you can. I'm just saying, get rid of your luck. See if I care more.
I would like to spend all 50 luck.
Yeah.
As one more tentacle sprouts out of whatever.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll 1d10 to see how many dollars you win. I don't think you're at like a high stakes table.
No.
I thought you were
No,
going to say how many
6.
tentacles.
You win $6
Right.
gambling the night before.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Nice.
all right, fair enough. Where's my inventory on this godforsaken character sheet? It's 3 pages long. This character sheet. I'm doing homage to a dear friend of ours by complaining about the character sheet. I don't really care personally, but she does, and I like to do her
I don't
homage.
think you should be too mad at this one because it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Stats on one page, background shit and equipment on the second page, notes, third page.
There we go. Cash. 26.
Woohoo! It's quite the winnings.
I mean, yeah, that's not too bad. I did all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not at a high stakes table. The point is to just pass the time.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not good at it, so.
All right. So on your journey, even for you, Billy, what you would note is that Stillwater is pretty easy to find because you follow Rio Grande south from Santa Fe. And then you head west of the river for 20 miles towards the mountains. And there it is.
All right. I'm glad I don't get lost in the desert trying to get there.
So, if y'all would want to, you may roll a spot hidden to see what you notice along your journey.
All right.
Oh,
Well, heck, go ahead. Feel free.
don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do. If you're 90 or whatever. I don't know what it is.
Oh, no, not that high. 65 is not a success.
Not gonna make it. Okay. No, you're inside a coach for part of that journey, so you're just doing your thing. Whatever it is you do with all your laudanum inside you. All right, who's next?
Okay.
All right.
And again, don't feel obligated to use this thing, but you're welcome.
Or
to.
those ugly dice.
Or these ugly
They're
dice.
horrible.
I like them.
There's others.
41.
Yeah, there's a
No.
whole bag too.
No, no.
Rainy has
All right, that's
pretty-
higher than your
Yes.
score. Okay. All right. Okay, I know you usually put a lot in spot hidden. It's one of your favorites.
22. Yes, ma'am. That is a success.
Regular success?
No, that is lower than my half.
Hard success.
That is a hard. It's lower than.
You may check your spot hidden.
Thank you.
And probably maybe because you're stopping to camp outside a lot. Maybe this is why you notice it when the others don't.
Mm-hmm.
That one of the nights when you've built yourself a little fire.
Yep.
And you've got your bed rolled down. Your horse is grazing on what little scrub grass there is in this area. You see just at the edge of the light, like someone making their way through the desert.
Oh.
They don't approach your fire. They just seem to be moving slowly, like they've been out in the elements for a while. And they move out of the light.
Okay. I mean, running into fellow travelers is not uncommon on this trail.
Yeah, probably the most uncommon part about it is they do not approach your camp.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, probably gonna sleep lightly so I don't get rolled.
Just like got so many knives and shit under your head, you're just like...
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
This isn't my first rodeo, so...
Alright. So you've arrived a little bit early. Is there anything that you want to do other than gamble the night before that I should be aware of before everyone else gets to town?
Oh.
It's a good time to catch syphilis.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is a great time.
Okay, you lose $6. No.
A $6 whore. Holy shit, bro. That, dang.
I'm not
your life.
I just know that's how much you made. So.
Roll to see if you catch syphilis.
No,
Probably
I
have some
mean,
mercury.
much like any place that's trying to keep you there and drinking and spending, right? There are definitely drinks are being brought to you. It's very Vegas-esque in that way. Are you going to snort this whole thing? It's not exciting to you? All right. Rude.
I love that ear that's just like...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did I bother?
All right. The two of you probably arrive at a similar time because that's what was agreed upon. As you head into town, you notice it has that very kind of typical Old West town feel where there's your main road down the center with your main businesses on either side of it. There are a couple of prospectors, it looks like, that are coming in around the same time that you are, on their various mules and horses, laden with either many riches or none at all, ready to spend what they have, get some resupply. And if you'd like to head straight to the cantina, you can, but if there was other business that you had, you could certainly take care of that first as you like. So let me know.
Is there a place to put my donkey and my...
So typically, much like Red Dead Redemption, you could stop by the livery in town to pay for a stable or set yourself up. You have paperwork, so this may have all been arranged. Otherwise, sometimes D&D style, certain places, I mean, you have a caravan and everything, so it might be a little bit different, but there's places you can tie up a horse and stuff like that too. So it kind of depends on what you're into.
Okay.
But for you, I also don't know if it's normal for you just to like set up your caravan in a certain spot in or out of town and do your thing.
Yeah,
so.
I might just go park next to the bar and like roll out the signs and the lights and be ready for
Lanterns up,
the evening.
ready to go.
There is a gap across the street.
There is, right across the road.
See? Business
Yep.
opportunity.
Get all the drunks coming out.
Get some cheap khakis and polo shirts. Boo.
So, Madame Azalea, how would Justice Burette have described your business to your new associates so they would know what to look for?
How would he have described it? Or how would she describe it?
How would it have been described most likely?
It just a little wagon, like covered, like carnival style, their little thing, flashy, painted, gaudy, Madame Azalea, get your fortune told.
Right. Yeah. So you all have been told to keep an eye out for a fortune teller as one of your associates who will help you with some of the soft skills, as it were, that you may or may not be lacking. So yes, I mean, I think certainly as your coach pulls into town and is ready to drop you off in front of the cantina, you drive right by this caravan being set up right across the street from the Buenos Aires. And in fact, from inside the cantina, maybe there's a little bit of hubbub, as it were, about this fortune teller setting up across the street.
Probably.
Yeah.
I could make a, I don't know, a listen check.
No, I mean, it would be obvious. It's not something that requires a skill. I know you're trying to get checks. No. not something that requires.
Quit check grubbing.
People near the front, through the grimy windows.
Ooh,
I don't know what it says. Can't read that sign, but...
And then someone admonishing old Zeke. Hearing that kind of stuff going on. Fair enough. All right, it's cool. I can't help but feel like I'm in Tull from the Gunslinger. It has that feel to it. If you're familiar.
So, what do you all want to do?
Well, I'm gambling and nursing the watered down drinks that they bring me. 'Cause Billy's not much of a drinker. You know, isn't like offended by it, but he just is wary of the drink. Prefers to keep his wits about him. But you get to sit at a table in the corner and no one really pays attention to you when you're gambling unless they're gambling with you, until someone like, you're cheating, you son of a bitch, and flips the table over and all that. Until that happens, nobody knows what's going on at the gambling table. So I'm just watching the exits in the room and all that.
Right.
Are we supposed to meet somewhere in particular for this?
Y'all
Just at the
arranged to meet at the
cantina.
cantina.
Oh, gotcha.
Outside of your original telegrams.
So I see Madame Azalea setting up still? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I won't interrupt a setup because no one wants to get interrupted when they're working, right?
Or when you're setting up camp, you're like, I'm busy, fuck off.
I'm obviously trying to set some shit up. Get away from me. So,
what you're not going to do is talk to me before I log into my computer.
Good time to know. What is the person that Doc would see setting up this caravan?
Mostly you see like just fake silk, royal blue, purples, yellows, stars everywhere. Medium size, dark hair. Just ferret around the neck.
Oh.
no.
Like a stole or
Like a live ferret.
an actual
Yeah.
live ferret.
But worn like a stole. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm not there to see this, but so I'll have to separate that.
So are you heading to
Okay.
the cantina instead then?
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt, so be like, okay.
Alright. So the saloon doors swing open, right? Whom do they see walk into this cantina?
An older man, so mostly leaning more toward the salt and pepper. Definitely plenty of lines from worry and just being old in the world at that time. So pretty raggedy clothes, but kept up for the most part. real dusty. He has rocking the stubble rather than a full beard. Just carrying the classic medicine bag, and then some saddlebags over his shoulder.
All right.
So brown on brown, not in like a fancy suit or anything like that. Just, deer hide type clothes that'll wear well.
All right. Carrying your doctor's bag, so fairly obvious. Yeah. So, Billy, looking at the person who walks in, since you said you were keeping an eye out,
Yes.
you'd see this older gentleman with a doctor's bag. But what might he see?
Oh,
As far as your character is concerned.
nice. So if you look at the gambling table at the right moment, you'd see like probably what you would describe as one of the most beautiful men you've ever seen, as he looks over to his right at the player sitting next to him. And as you catch his eye, he turns his face to look at you, and you notice that the right side of his face is horribly burned to the point that he's missing his right ear, and the nostril is like all huge, and maybe the cheeks pulled back and teeth exposed, and quite a fearsome experience. He has traditional Lakota tattoos on his face, the tone of like 3 lines from bottom lip down to the tip of the chin, and a line across the face, and maybe 3 dots on either cheek. And the hair is all burned away on that side, but otherwise it's about maybe cheek length or so, a little bit longer, maybe enough to tuck behind the ear. And he appears powerfully built and sits tall in his chair, but he's sitting down, so you can't really gauge his size so much. And he seems to be wearing rough traveling clothes, which are a mix of Western and native style. So there's a mix of leather and wool, and there are a lot of bullets and bandoliers and things of that nature. And his eyes are quite sharp. They move around with notable precision, is probably the features that would jump out at mostly.
Right. If you've been told a bit about who you are associating with, you'd probably recognize each other. Up to you what you'd like to do at that point.
Let me get some of these note cards so I fold and just leave my chips that I've bet. Chips, money, whatever it is we're playing with. It wouldn't be chips in a place like this. It'd be actual cash.
Yeah, it'd be cash on the table.
So I would take my...
And like nuggets and stuff.
Yeah, a little
like flake.
Wash leather
Yeah.
pouch full of gold dust and stuff like that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I would just fold and take my money that I hadn't put in the pot and stand up to walk across the room to greet Dr. Josiah Atticus or Isaac Pritchard. That's it. I couldn't remember the name. I pulled one out of my hat. It was wildly inaccurate. That'll happen sometimes. No disrespect. So yeah, I'll stride across the saloon to greet Doctor. Let me put Doctor. Doctor. Did it say doctor? Are you a doctor? My telegram didn't say. It just said 2 people, and then we corresponded a little bit to set
So
up
it
our
depends.
meeting. So,
how do you refer to yourself?
yes, would you have...
Yeah, as a doctor. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Dr. Isaac Pritchard. Okay, cool. Yeah, so when he stands up, he is definitely of a size. He is
Small size.
just a teeny guy. He's just a little guy. He stands up and he's got baby legs.
Stands up and gets shorter than when he was on the chair as he hops down to greet you.
Yeah, so the top is all of that leather and wool and whatnot mixed. So the bottom is just baby legs and a little loincloth. Yeah. No, he's a normally built.
This is canon now. You can't take that back.
There's already
There's already fan art of it.
Your boss baby, the gunslinger.
It's that character creation where you're like, oh, I'll fix that later, and then you like hit back and you can't go back. You're like, no. Yeah. Right. I'll walk over. I couldn't find a size table that translates the score to like heights and weights and all that.
I can help you with that.
Just to give me an idea of what we're dealing with.
Of what it probably is.
Yeah.
I mean, these things are typically, they're averages.
Right.
So, your mileage may vary. I do like that in the rules, and because it's Cthulhu, this makes sense, I guess. It says, if you lose all size points, you disappear, but no one knows where to. But yeah, okay.
That can happen? Holy crap.
Just shrink way down.
Let's see.
And they go, boing, disappear. Become a singularity.
What is your size?
75.
Okay. So 65 is considered an average male human size. 80 is very tall, strongly built, or even obese, depending on your character. It means a larger than average size. So you're kind of right in the middle of those, but closer to large than normal.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah. So Billy is noticeably taller than your average guy, but not so tall that, you're like, holy crap, let's call him, Alpine or whatever. Stretch, yes, some Wild West nickname for it.
It does note you'd be larger than 170 pounds, smaller than 240.
Yeah. Tall and lithe, moves with an easy grace that suggests he's accustomed to moving around, knows how to handle himself. Walks right up to you and says, Dr. Pritchard, I presume?
Yep. That makes you old Billy Rednuts. Red Cloud.
Billy Rednuts. Like, if I had a nickel every time I heard that. Yes, that is me at your service. We're to meet a third here.
I believe I saw Madame Azalea setting up across the way.
Well, look out the window. Can I see the camp? The caravan from where I am?
Yeah, you see the caravan being set up, and you see a wiry little man approaching. So outside, as you're setting up, not caring as much for interrupting your setup as the doctor did.
That's what I wanted to do.
A wiry little man approaches you. He's got kind of craggy, sun-browned skin. He's dressed in a ratty buckskin, worn leather boots. He has an old, battered Union Army cap on. And, has kind of a bag that he's carrying into town. He has his gun strapped over his shoulder, not actually holding it, but it's there. He says, "You're new in town."
A very astute observation.
Yes. I know who's here and who's not here usually.
Yeah.
Mm.
You live here?
Usually out in the hills, but I come back in every once in a while.
Nice.
Got a reach pie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good.
Got to spend some of this silver over at the Buena Suerte.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Good drink over there?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. Well, after you have a couple, if you want to hear your fortune told, learn of your your future, you come on back. Or if you got time right now.
Well, what do you take for these fortune tellings?
Normally it's $1, but I don't know if you got silver. We could barter with that. We could work something out.
Well, I have an option for you. I do have some silver. Saving it for the tables, as you might know. But I've got some trinkets. Some things I found in their hills.
Trinkets in the hills?
Trinkets, yeah.
Oh.
Uncover all sorts of artifacts.
Oh, very interesting. What sort of artifacts?
No, there's all sorts of things, but I've got these nice little, they're like perfect glass spheres.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I have one of those myself.
Oh, well. Don't know if you need some little ones to go with it. But like I said, I have silver too, whatever you're into.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can I look at your artifacts and see if there's anything I might be interested in?
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
All right, so he reaches into his bag and he takes out, a couple of these glass orbs. There's a little bit of dust on them.
Like his contact juggle, like a fushigi
it
sort of.
does look a little bit like that, yes.
Would I recognize if these are for anything?
Do you have a skill you would like to try to roll to recognize what they may be for?
That is a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Would it be just like intelligence? Or do you use these boys down here?
If you have a skill you'd like to try, it's always the best way to go because there's always a chance that you can check that box and maybe increase it later if you're successful. But if you lack anything and you want to just use your innate knowledge, the things you've learned so far, you can always default to education or intelligence should you want to.
So is it like appraise?
Appraise is one to see if it's something of value, at the very least.
I'll try. I don't have anything in it. But
What's the default for appraise? It's pretty low, isn't it?
5%.
Buena suerte.
Big money, no whammies. 91.
Oh.
I didn't critically fail though,
he says they're artifacts.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to tell. You don't know much about what should be found in this region.
They look nice.
Yeah, they're pretty.
I'll take them.
Okay.
In exchange for your fortune. Whatever.
So what skill do you use for telling such fortunes?
Let's see. Is it persuade, I think, or psychology? I think it was psychology to cold read.
Yeah. Because you're trying to get enough from him to tell him some stuff that will seem relevant. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Wild West fortune teller gypsy type.
39.
So red.
So that's lower than my...
Perfect. You may check your psychology.
It's even lower than half.
Ooh, okay, so that's a hard success if it's lower than your half value.
Yeah. Well done.
All right. So, with a hard success, things you notice, he does give you his name. His name is Hiram Colby. And you note that as he approaches your caravan, what's your ferret's name?
Luna.
Okay. Luna, who is normally quite stoic and happy to exist around your neck in a lounging state, kind of scurries down the back of your clothes. Your donkey paws a little bit up the dirt, but settles. And you can tell a few things about him. Obviously, he is a prospector. You can see the obvious bulge of a goodly amount of silver nuggets in his bag. He has been out in the weather for a while, so this is something he's been doing long term. You can tell from his clothes that he probably fought in the war. And so, yeah, you have a lot you can read from him, but with a hard success, there's also something a little unsettling about him, particularly in the way that your animals react.
So he's gonna find great success in the future. All good things. Can tell he's a great guy. I want him out of my wagon as soon as possible.
Sure. It's like, oh, that is good to hear. Success is always something we want to see out in these heroes, you know? So thank you so much. Make sure to display those bottles somewhere nice.
Okay. Will do.
Heading to the cantina.
All right. Best of luck in your gambling.
Man, Rainey's voice of this character is just so evocative of the like Jafar disguised as the old man in Aladdin.
Oh, really?
He's smiling with all the fucked up teeth. Need a young pair of legs and a strong back. Giving you your reward. That guy. Holy shit. Good job, Rainey. Your voices are the shit.
I don't know if I should have these glass balls now. I'm not sure.
Oh, dude. Glass balls. Oh, man. I missed it. Were they just clear? Or are they're not colored or anything like that? They're clear? Okay. Well, all right. Cool.
I don't know either.
Okay, good. I didn't know if I missed a thing.
No, that's just the gunslinger. There's all the different orbs that have different magical properties and stuff like that. Merlin's grapefruit, and there's Black 13, and all the different glass that they do. They all do different crazy ass shit.
Maybe it'll be the Horn of Eld next.
Yeah. Or a fucking jawbone. You never know.
Right. So he does, as he said, head across the road to the Buenos Aires Cantina.
Okay. Well,
outside you saw this wiry old prospector go into the caravan and then come back out.
So I had just met in person Dr. Pritchard.
Yes.
And then looked out the window and saw Madame Azalea setting up and the guy walking up. Mm-hmm. So what I would have remarked to Dr. Pritchard is, well, we probably don't want to disturb her while she's setting up.
Unlike that guy in particular.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Those were my feelings.
So we can, I don't know, hang out, I guess. Come into some winnings, buy you a drink while we wait, Doc.
I wouldn't turn one down.
All right. So we'll probably stand at the bar.
Right.
And we'll order, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that there's much choice in this type of cantina. You say, yes, drink, please. And they're like, this is the drink.
Just piss warm chungo. Order something fancy. Like, yes, could I have a East Coast IPA, steam brewed and all this bullshit?
Nitro, please.
Yeah, nitro.
So the interesting
all I got is piss warm chungo.
thing about this cantina in particular, being the Buenos Aires, they serve a little bit of watered down, but mostly tequila.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Y'all
a
see me
slightly yellow, clear liquid comes down the bar at you.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. Oh, your health. And knock it back.
Mm-hmm. See an old lady chewing up and spitting into a bucket in the back to make
it. Dude, always wanted to try the spit booze.
But no, after
the whole village.
A few minutes. Thanks. No. After a few minutes, that wiry man you saw outside enters through the saloon doors, walks right up to the bar. He's like, oh, new people. What y'all doing in town? Hiram Colby, by the way. And you see a few people seem to recognize him. He seems like a regular of some kind. Oh, Colby. We'll be
Colby, aka Cool Beans. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll eye the doc sideways to see if he has a response for this guy's presumptuous inquiry.
Just passing through.
All right, fair enough. If you're not here to prospect, not much out here for you. That's for sure.
Nice.
Maybe some other opportunity will come up.
No, certainly, certainly. There's a new fortune teller lady outside. Y'all haven't had a chance to partake of her talent.
She any good?
She told me I'd be very successful and that I was a good dude. So, seems pretty on the up and up.
Seems like a good endorsement.
What kind of endorsement? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you responded. My reply to what are you all doing? It would have been minding our business.
Yeah, he kind of gives you an eye because you didn't respond to him, and then kind of settles in. It seems like at his normal place at the bar, and what's the latest gossip? You know, and like gets the news and everything. So.
From the barkeep. Imagine the barkeep rocking the like bald eagle, you know, where it's all bald on top, but like long in the back, with a big ass like mustache, and and portly, big apron around his wide front.
So you had your first customer. You were able to finish setting up in whatever way you like to. So what would you like to do?
I'll close the little flaps on my wagon and head inside.
All right.
So, you said Billy's lip? He pulls back a bit.
Yeah.
Does he do the drool thing out, or you managed to keep all that?
I'd say it's not that bad, you know. It's just pulled a little tight, is all.
Okay.
It's just a little tight, so it affects his ability to emote or be expressive on that side of his face, but it otherwise doesn't impair his vision or, you know, mandibular function, as it were. It just looks gross. To the point where, like I said, from the left side, you're like, dang, I mean, I'm not into dudes, but that's a gorgeous dude. You know, like just objectively. And then he turns a look and you're like, God damn! So that was the side that hung off the ugly train and just drug you, just hitting every tie for about 50 miles. Like, yeah, the right side's fucked up. And as we're hanging out at the bar with the sleeve rolled back, you can tell that arm is also got the former bubbly flesh and like angry red parts that are the pale keloid type and just all fucked up and burnt and everything. But he doesn't seem to have any dexterity issues picking up the shot glass in the bag, putting it down, and that sort of thing. So that's fortunate. And you can see the further lines of tattoos on both arms as well.
So the entrance of Madame Azalea is more interesting than the entrance of most. If only because of her colorful dress. But
someone playing the piano and then clang.
as she enters through the sliding doors, you'll notice a slight tremor as the ground underneath you shakes. And no one in the tavern seems to pay it much mind.
Huh. Well, then in that case, if the friendly local sat down on the other side of me after I kind of ignored him, then I'll actually talk to him. Say, old timer, what was that all about?
They happen from time to time. Nothing to be concerned about.
You're saying the ground here shakes with regular frequency?
Yeah, every once in a while.
And no one seems to think that's odd.
It's not odd. It happens quite a bit.
When did it start?
I have things to get to. I got ladies upstairs. I got this shower to spend.
They'll both still be here in the morning. It's a simple question.
They'll be here in the morning and show alive. Probably in the same spot I was in about 5 minutes. But you want a place that's a talking place instead of a doing place? I'd recommend the Sweetwater instead, my friend. And he heads up the stairs.
Useless old coot. You didn't find that odd, Doc? I'm gonna presume a little bit. Call him Doc.
Maybe.
I mean,
Calm down with your stomping. Clap, clap.
Clickety stomps.
well, I don't know. If it happens all the time, it's not unusual. But
Where
then
is that?
look over toward the entryway and just kind of raise my hand up to try to get Madame Azalea's attention.
Do the do the milady thing with the hat.
Yeah, she's gonna head on that way.
Alrighty. Cool.
Do any of you have like natural world or any sort of science or education that you might want to use to learn more about this?
I don't think biology would count. Occult? Probably not in this situation.
I don't know if that's what you jump to necessarily.
I mean, I could try natural world.
Yeah.
If you want to try a skill, natural world is a good one. If you wanted to try your survival, even though this is not your normal domain, I don't think.
Not really, no.
You could, but it would be a hard since it's not your normal one. Otherwise, if you want to use your straight education, there's nothing to check there if you're successful, but you'd be relying on just what schooling and knowledge you have from your experience as to if this is normal or not for this region.
I will try natural world.
Oh, will you then?
Yes, I will give it the old university try.
What?
No.
Right.
It's a 74, and I had to beat a 20.
Yeah, you don't normally come this far south. You're not sure if this is one of them earthquake places or not.
Right. My survival is 40, but it still wouldn't have got there. So. Yeah, I'm not usually in this biome.
Biology probably would not count either. Just
No.
alright, we'll
Good
try
try.
natural. That is a 40, so not good enough.
You're just gonna roll with it. You're just like, this is the thing.
No, I'll check it. I just wanted to give him because he keeps
Yeah.
looking at me like I did it.
Oh yeah, it is your fault that he's doing poorly.
Yeah.
with the rolls.
Oh no.
Yeah.
45. I
Yeah.
needed 20.
Huh? Yeah. Hiram says it's normal, so maybe it's normal.
I don't know. I don't think I buy it.
Do you not buy what he is saying?
No, I don't buy the idea that just because it happens regularly, then it's normal. Like, that
Isn't
makes
that-
it a normal occurrence, a regular occurrence, but it doesn't mean that it's not out of the ordinary.
He has assured you that they are pure organic tremors of the earth.
Artisanal tremor.
Non-GMO earthquake.
Yes, small craft batch,
Heirloom.
small batch heirloom tremors,
Yeah. Free trade.
Free trade.
Fair trade.
shade grown.
Yeah.
Sustainable.
Yeah.
Damn, those words can we cram in here? There's got to be one more. Oh shit. No, I think we got them all.
Cruelty free.
Oh, there
that one
you go.
There you go.
Yes, there you go. Perfect. Cruelty-free tremors. All right.
I mean, nobody really reacted to it though.
Right. Yeah. No. It's normal for them. You know.
That means you're the weird one.
I get
weirdo.
that. I still think that doesn't mean that it's on the level.
Sure.
Like if a freaking I don't know guy in a mouse costume suddenly ran out of the back and slapped the bartender across the face and then ran back in, like you'd be like, and no one reacted. You'd be like, okay, that's normal for here, but that doesn't mean it's like not fucking weird.
Be like, well, I get tremors all the time. It's just this time you felt it.
Make note of that.
Ye old laudanum addiction.
Doc is shaky.
Doc gets the tequila in the shot glass and then takes something out of his bag and adds it to it.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I would have ordered another round for us since we've been joined by our compatriot now. A little presumptuous to not ask. I'm just trying to be friendly.
Is this
Obviously, no one's going to be offended.
Is this a buy the drink kind of situation, or they give you glasses and a bottle kind of?
Now that there's 3 of you, they might have done it with 2 of you, especially since you look, stout and like you know your way around a bottle. But yeah, definitely with 3 of you there, they'd probably just bring you one. And then just look at you expectantly.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll pay for it because I'm ordering it.
Yeah, and then they take their hand off the bottle and walk away. Yeah.
No, I'm ordering them. I'll definitely pay. I'm not going to order it and then be like, well, and then you have that stubborn off for the rest of your natural lives.
And that's how we end the game. You roll new characters.
Right.
You come in to handle the business. Yeah.
And then your new characters come in, and it's 1987. There are 3 skeletons standing at the bar. Right? Yeah. No. I'll definitely pay for it. I mean, how much can a bottle of tequila be?
Yeah, half water, half tequila.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say, as long as the alcohol content is high enough to make it, safe to drink.
Yeah. They're following old school rules. Yeah. Water is less safe than alcohol, but hydration. So maybe some water with alcohol.
Yeah. I like it. I'm into it. Especially coming in from the trail. About halfway parched.
Everybody looks. It's like,
oh, is it longer?
They pull up their masks. Because even in the Wild West, everyone had their masks ready to go. The little bandanas.
Hell yeah. I got mine.
So what are y'all doing?
So
drinking water, whiskey, or tequila?
Well, no, having paid for the bottle, I'd probably grab it and walk toward a secluded table that's empty, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
Not secluded, just not right next to the other people. Somewhere
Sure.
off in a place where we can speak privately.
Okay. You may.
Excellent. Hopefully, my compadres will talk to me at the table. But, I mean, you never know. Maybe not. And that's cool.
Okay, so just to give you an idea, this part of the scenario. We can go as late or stop as early as you like at this point. It's a little sandboxy. You know what you're there to do. You know some of the locations in town and some of the people you can talk to.
Hell yeah.
Do your thing.
Awesome. So, so I got there the night before.
Yes.
And then I gambled, and then the next day,
Yes.
Doc and Madame Azalea showed up. But about what time is this taking place? Day. We're just killing this bottle of tequila at 9:30 in the morning because I'm into that.
Do what you got to do, get through the day.
That's when the train arrives.
Yeah.
Look, nowadays we start the day with a couple ibuprofen. Back then, you start the day with a half a bottle of
I'll let you
tequila.
decide what time of day do you want it to be.
I would think like later in the day, because like the train is going to take a while to get there, right? And Doc took the train into town, and Dr. Azalea had needed, Dr. Azalea, Madam Azalea.
No, doctor. Yep, doctor.
Not yet.
Yep.
Two doctors.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Three different kinds of doctors, that's fine.
There you go. Could be a doctor of psychology, and Dr. Pritchard would call you a hack. They would need time to travel, and I don't think that they're going to get up at like midnight and then travel all night to get there, because it takes a long ass time. You know what I mean? Like, people have always expressed distance in terms of time. We're 20 minutes away, that kind of stuff. No one tells you like we're 4.5 miles away. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So back then, though, it wasn't 20 minutes, right? It was like, 3 days ride north by northwest. Make sure and turn south when you hit the Devil's Fork and all that bullshit, right? So I feel like it'd probably be later in the day. Blah, 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 blah. It's probably about 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
That's fine.
Then all right. So 4 in the afternoon-ish.
So, sorry. In my imagination...
Not quite dusk.
All that
The sun's
bullshit I
still
just
up.
said, adds flavor and is interesting. Next time, I'll just cut to about 4, and I'll let all that take place up here.
I mean, true. A lot of people aren't traveling in the evening, but you don't know how close they were camped before they headed into town, so I'm okay with whatever.
Yes, where was the train camped before they headed into town? No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
hooking in.
I know.
Just sleeping all over the little carriage.
I got a little carrot or a coach ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came in with the mail.
Madam Azalea, I presume.
Yes.
All right.
Doctor. Billy.
I'll refill all of our glasses. The task at hand is to track down one nefarious Hank Hanratty.
So you would have found in your communications leading up to this, after you accepted the job, that Hank is wanted for murder. So this is something you didn't know about him.
Something we would know of him? Know of him?
Yeah. And the reason his profile is so high, his reward is so high, because murder out here, not necessarily the most unusual thing.
It was a fair fight.
But he's wanted for killing a lawman.
Cop killer. Okay, that makes sense. Now, here's the thing. My telegram said the bounty, like, did it say that I am hired to bring him in and I get paid $600? Or is the bounty $600 with the obvious implication that if I have 2 associates that we're each getting $200? Or
Bounty is $600. How you think that's handled is up to you.
okay, well, no, I'm definitely, the way I read it then.
You're getting paid anyways.
Yeah, I mean, no, the way I read it is you're hired and this is the bounty on him, and I'm also sending you 2 people to help you out.
Yeah.
Then that means it's split 3 ways.
Right.
Just by
Yeah.
default. That's
Sure.
what that says to me.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
think
just
that's
assuming
a very typical way to read that.
that's
Not everyone makes that assumption. But yes, that is the way. And because you're experienced with bounties, that would be the way you probably have typically handled it when you have people who are working with you.
right. Okay. Because I mean, they're also
Oh, or you murder them and then you
Right.
get the full bounty.
yeah,
Right?
crawfish.
And their power.
Drill your partner in the ass and take the whole bounty. Gotcha. Which drill your partner in the ass maybe not the same connotation that it has these days. It just means you shoot him in the back. Don't get it twisted. No, I like to keep my business dealings above board because I am an officer of the court. I'm not some, rando bounty hunter who just...
And you do all carry paperwork that technically marks you as deputized.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever need to flex that.
Right. Yeah. So you don't, not a shady bounty hunter. I'm a highfalutin bounty hunter. Okay.
And all of the bar dogs stretch out on the old wood floors. Yeah. But you are at a semi-private table. There aren't other people there, and you're not by the bar.
Did I get a picture of Hank Haggerty? Raggedy Hank Haggerty?
The rat-a-tat-tat-tat.
Do I have a drawing?
He has
of
a
him?
wanted poster, right?
Yeah.
So sure, let's take a
Because I
look.
like
Here we
to
go.
think I would have that in my pocket somewhere. Ooh, all right. Tough guy. Cool. So I'm probably, with my papers and effects, probably I'm not the kind of guy who has like the coat and everything. It's more of like
It's just near cleavage.
a shirt. Yeah, it's in there with my wad of titty money. No. It's in my satchel.
Oh, okay.
It's a satchel. Indiana Jones had one. Pull it out and this is our guy.
Oh.
Well, he's big.
I suppose
He has a big pickaxe. He looks like he would do a murder. He just looks grumpy.
Yeah, he has
I
that
guess.
murderous cut to his jib.
I mean, we all get that look sometimes after work, though.
I mean, that's exactly what Santi looked like.
The description on this wanted poster is
bigger.
tall, dark eyes, dark hair, what he has left.
Did you carry around a pickaxe menacingly like this guy is?
Did you model for this?
So, yeah, that legit could have been a picture of me like planting our tree in the back.
You're just so mad.
Just pissed off.
This
Ready to do
clay
murder.
is the word.
Fucking sandy clay loam soil. It's like basically concrete. Fuck this soil. It's actually been good though. Anyway, yeah. So it doesn't look like someone to be trifled with, but you don't usually take these bounties in a fair fight. So it's not much of a concern.
Should he go on this page or should he get his own page? Since he is our quarry.
Should he go on the first page?
There are many pages.
There's tons
And
of
it's not a long
pages.
campaign. Do what you want.
I feel like he could go there, but you can put him on his own page if you want. I don't care. I love that there's an arts and crafts element to this. And he's gonna be like, and now there's the magic powder, and it's like a vial of glitter or something like
I
that.
haven't done anything that fancy yet, so I did.
Oh, we're down front and back. That way there's room for notes.
So he should be hard to miss.
Yeah, you do not see him in here.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know. So, what should our plan of action be for finding this man?
Oh,
He killed a cop. Should we go talk to the cops about it? Or ask around?
so his last known, like, he was last spotted in or around Stillwater? Okay. I can probably... No, I don't think I can, necessarily. I have pretty good tracking skills, but I have to know where to look to pick up the trail.
You have to have trail. I mean, your telegram did note that you could talk to the marshal here.
Yeah, so we probably need to tag up with the local marshal to get started.
Let's ask around for
Before we get that far, though, there's something I wanted to ask Doc.
Can't fix that lip. I've seen worse, but I can't fix it.
There's no help for that. Much obliged, Doc, but that ship has long since breached the horizon. No, I'm more interested in... Remember noisy toys? I'm more interested if you have any designs on how we might subdue this individual without sending them to his maker. My methods tend to be straightforward in that regard, and I've been instructed that we have a strong preference for the alive part of the dead or alive equation.
Well, if you can get him to sit down for a drink, I could give him something.
Eyeballs slide over to Azalea.
She puts her hands over her. Just the index card over the drink.
Or you just throw it over your shoulder. Delicious. No, I'd look over like that's probably not my area of expertise.
Would it kill him or
Just to pacify.
Yeah, I'm like, if anyone's gonna get him to sit down to have a drink, it's not gonna be like me.
And just to clarify, I wouldn't. I could supply something to be done. I would not be the one to deliver this. My hands aren't quite as steady as they used to be.
That's good. All right. What are the particulars? Do you need to drink it? Okay. And there are no concerns if he drinks it under duress.
Oh my god. Who are you people?
He's a wanted man.
Yeah,
That's a
I was
murderer.
going to say, I hunt down human beings for money.
Murder allegedly.
I ain't gonna kill him.
Who are you people? Oh, have we met? I'm a bounty hunter.
I'm not here to mistreat anyone.
Me either. Usually I just kill them.
I'm also not here to kill anyone.
That's why I ask.
Pay no mind to this giant fuck-off rifle I've got next to me.
Look, that could be a broom or a tripod for a fucking old-timey camera with the thing you put over your head and all that, right?
Yeah.
Hold up the tray of gunpowder or whatever it is. Silver nitrate or some shit. I don't know. I don't judge. All I know is I usually just ghost a fool. It's easier to take them back that way. And when the bounty is like $600 dead or alive, well, shit. I'll creep up on you while you're sleeping. Pop one in the back of the head. Drag your carcass back to town. And count that money. It's just safer and easier that way. That's how I tend to roll.
I think we should focus on finding him first and then worry about our methods of subduing him. You could shoot him in the leg, right?
Doesn't usually work out that way. It's been my experience that when you start aiming for particular parts, you miss. Always best to go for right in the breadbasket.
Not if you want him to be alive, though.
And therein lies my failing, man. I apologize. I tend to just not concern myself too much on that particular degree.
If we could find him, I could get him into my wagon or my tent. I'm very persuasive, I would say.
Nice.
Okay.
But we have to find him first. And he has to be in his right mind.
Okay. And, yeah. So, I can pose as your hired security. And would explain my presence, hopefully keep him at ease. Because I'm not that famous. I'm not some well-known fucking Wyatt Earp motherfucker. I'm just a scarred, half Indian bounty hunter. It's only remarkable for his appearance to most people. So that could work. Sounds like a good plan. Why don't we? I guess in the morning. Although no, it's not super late. We could ride into the local sheriff's office. We'll walk. We could go go to the local sheriff's office. It's like 50 miles. It's 4 days ride. Why don't we go and see the local marshal for any leads and start there? If there's a place where we can pick up the trail, I can track him down.
All right.
Just need to know where to start.
So we're going to the marshal tonight?
Yeah.
This evening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like 5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
No banker's hours, I guess.
Still west.
Yeah, I mean, he's here. He's probably got like a cot in his office or something like that. Maybe he has like a family and all that, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll go to his office, see if he's there. If not, we'll go to his house.
Let's roll out.
Fuck it. So, we mosey in true Wild West fashion to the local marshal's office. Spurs a jingling and a jangling.
As you, like, how far down is your lovely?
It's number 7. So it's right here.
Oh yeah, it's not too far at all. As you walk up Main Street, you note that like a few of like the businesses and buildings in this area have like, you know, things hanging out front, decor, wind chimes and the like. And a few of them contain those glass orbs, much like the ones that you were given. Maybe it's like a common thing they're digging up out here. And including a wind chime outside the marshal's office has one of these glass balls as part of its make. And walking inside, you can see he's an older dude. This Marshal Ted Whitman. He's got his feet up on the desk because it is after 5 at this point. He's got a glass of whiskey in hand. And he's doing a little bit of babysitting. The couple of makeshift cells that are here are currently occupied. Here is Marshal Ted Whitman, if you his image.
Oh, yeah, all right. He's like the sheriff or whatever from Tombstone. A little bit.
I like his handlebar mustache.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Marshal Javier Santiago.
But yeah, so it's him. He's got a cell in there that is currently occupied. He's having a drink. You know, besides him and the desk, there's a gun rack behind him with a few choice items in there. And another one of those spherical crystals has like a paperweight on the desk holding down some wanted posters and such.
Right.
And what is his name again?
Marshal Ted Whitman.
Ted Whitman. Charm, persuade, fast talk. Yeah, man, psychology. All of my real social skills aren't super high, but that doesn't mean I can't talk to people, especially lawmen, and I also think this guy's expecting us.
Yeah.
So it's alright.
So if you walk in, which I assume you did if you saw everything that's about.
I would probably open the door and hold it for my companions, given that I am not without social graces, given my upbringing.
That's fair. So walking in, that's the scene you'd see, right? There's 2 cells. One of them is occupied. Desk, marshal, gun rack, some decor. And he kind of seems to count in his head the 3 of you. He's like, deputies, I wager.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
Yep.
Wanna spit?
Yeah, it's exciting toy time. Okay. Says, well, it's getting to an hour. How can I help you?
All right. Well, I feel like y'all are the talky types. So,
Like, you got any of them assorted candies, or is it cookies, the chocolate? I don't know.
I got these ones that look like little strawberries. They're very good.
Nice.
the wrapper looks like a little strawberry.
These are the best.
They're the best ones.
Actually,
They're really good.
say, if you see those or like a Werther's, you're gonna go for the strawberry every time.
Also, based on proximity, got a couple of these cajetas over here. No. What can he do you for?
Oh, it's me. We're looking for old boy.
Hank
Hanratty.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
the one I'm in here.
Yeah, it sure is. You got anything? And where was he seen last?
It's said he was seen in Stillwater.
Yeah, whereabouts though?
Yeah.
You fucking smart ass.
Well, it's been said he's come to work one of the mines. So apparently he has family out here, so came to hide out, lay low, I think.
Who's the family that he's got?
The Probish and his kin.
Excellent.
Whereabouts do they live?
Yeah, they're in a cabin in the hills, a few miles south of town. Puts them in proximity of the mine. It's where they spend most of their time.
The silver mine.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
out
yeah,
here.
yeah. And just checking. I noticed y'all have a bunch of these glass balls everywhere. What is that about?
Yeah, the miners dig them up from time to time, bring them into town.
Just in the mines usually?
Not all prospectors are in mines proper. Some of them are out in the creeks and digging amongst the rocks. But yeah, they come out of the mines sometimes.
All right.
They bring them into town, trade them. I mean, they're nice little baubles.
Yeah, they're really pretty. So not really worth much then, just...
Well, in town here, since a lot of us have them, probably not, but I'm sure they'd fetch a pretty penny elsewhere. They're fine, seem almost just perfectly round.
Right, and they just come straight out the ground?
Well, that's where they find them.
But that's normal.
Yeah, like
Because
earthquakes.
it's normal here.
Is it normal? Do you feel the ground shake earlier?
Oh yeah, I suppose it did.
That just a thing that happens? My friend here's real nervous about it. I don't know if I actually know if you're
Yeah,
nervous about it or not.
Yeah, once
I
or
remarked upon it.
twice a week, maybe.
Been that way forever?
Kind of like stares off into the distance. I can't quite recall.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, that's totally normal. Yeah, I'm like a weekend report over here. All right.
So Probish and his kin south of town.
The Probish homestead south of town near the mine. I think we should stake that place out. See if we can see him coming or going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our move.
Do you have any ordinance in town regarding firearms?
Well, it's probably best you carry him in case you run into danger.
Like, I fucking hope not, cuz.
I mean,
In town proper, not usually a necessity. And certainly I would prefer you not cause trouble. I'm too damn old to deal with any of that shit right now. But, even going a little bit outside of town, I mean, you've got wild animals. You've got, we have some pretty active Apache out here that are very territorial of the mesas. So I don't recommend getting too far out into the canyons and such, but, it's better to be prepared.
Awesome. I was like giving him the hard eye, just waiting for him to be like, got some filthy savages out in the cliffs. I'd be like,
now, watch out.
Shit.
There has been some talk of a couple folk disappearing recently. With someone like Hanratty out here, wouldn't be surprised. It was a murder. But, best watch out for yourselves.
Who did he murder? Do we know? Do you know?
Lawman up in Santa Fe.
Do you deserve it?
A lawman never deserves it.
That ain't true.
Well, we know where his
No, to be fair, some of them do. I didn't know the man. Though. But the way it's told, it was done in cold blood. Again, I don't know the truth of that either.
well, that's for the courts to sort out.
some men just need killing too.
Well, like I said, outside of town,
What?
preferable.
Yeah, what you do outside of town is your business.
But as you know, since you've been in contact with him as well, Justice Burette did inform me of your business here. I am set to assist you in ways that make sense for me to do so, and that can include the use of a holding cell and transportation as necessary of the prisoner to trial.
All right, bring him back here. Hell yeah. Nice. Okay. Noticing the prisoner occupying one of the holding cells, I'd like to ask the marshal, what's your guest in for?
Oh, Marty? He's gone just absolutely batshit, waiting for the doctor to come in and take a look at him.
I see.
We have a doctor right here.
Just start offering his services.
We just volunteer your
You just
services.
got voluntold.
Oh, well, see, I mean, he's not really in jail. It's more for his safety. But Marty was out doing, he was night hawking. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
No.
Watching a herd during the evening. We do have to do that a bit more here because of not everyone's quite as friendly with cattle and such. You have to keep an eye on it, you know? So he was out night hawking, and they found him in the morning, not on his horse, won't say a word, just completely lost his wits.
Okay.
When the folk out there approached him, he turned a little violent. It seemed more self-defense, seemed startled more than anything. But, have him locked up here till Doc can look at him. Not sure what to do with him.
You mind if I take a look?
Certainly, just, watch your distance.
All right. I'll go wander over to Marty. What's up, Marty?
Pick up the coffee, the tin coffee mug. Clang, clang. That'll always settle the jangled nerves of the mentally disturbed.
Marty's a young man. Looks otherwise healthy, right? Doesn't seem to be anything apparently wrong with him as an injury or anything like that. But his eyes are wide, and when you walk over, he skitters back away from you a bit.
How are you doing there? All right. Have you had anything to eat or drink lately? You thirsty? No? Look a little parched. Let me see what I can do. Maybe get you a nice glass of water. Go over to Marshall Whitman.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can we get him a cup of water, maybe?
Yeah, let's give him one of those tin cups.
Go over to the tin cup. I guess so I probably still have my stuff with me. So yeah, open up the old medicine bag and do a quick calculation, see if I don't have something that I can put in this cup to maybe calm his nerves.
All right.
I don't know if we need to go straight to laudanum.
Right.
But,
see what level you need.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a pharmacy roll or?
Yeah, I'll give that a shot. That's a failure. That's a 64.
I think all that means, because in Call of Cthulhu, unless you choose to push a roll, and this is a great time for us to talk about that. So, as it is, a failure is just a failure. It doesn't mean there's a consequence to it. It just means maybe you didn't find the right thing in your bag, or you're not going to give them the right dose, right? But if you want to re-roll, you can, but we have to establish what the consequence would be.
Okay.
And I think in this case, if you roll and fail again, it means that you would probably give him a bit of an overdose that you might have to then try to remedy if you wanted to. Otherwise, he'd be maybe not in such a right way.
First, do no harm, Doc.
Ain't such a good doctor, though.
Oh, no.
No, he probably wouldn't
Push it.
Wouldn't risk it on this one.
Yep. So he just, again, he's staying away from the bars for now, just looking at you.
Just, I guess, put the tin cup just inside the bars. Be like, it'll do you good. Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah. So
Blood up.
yeah, so you put the cup of water in there, and he gets down on his belly and kind of squirms forward and licks at the water.
Oh.
See,
Okay.
he hasn't been like this before. This is just a recent development.
Oh no, Marty was just a regular kid around here. Worked the ranches. Nothing like this.
Can I roll medicine to see if this is this an affliction I've heard of before?
Yeah, absolutely.
16. Which is, hang on, half would be a 40, and then a fifth would be
What's your normal score?
16. So you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that an extreme
Extreme.
success? Obviously, check your. I think with a roll that good, despite the fact her medicine's not super advanced right now, but you have encountered not anything exactly like this, but sicknesses that caused such a fever that they seem to disturb the brain in a way that wasn't always recoverable. And his behavior reminds you a lot of that, like what we might consider a virus. But no, like catching some kind of illness that caused him to run such a fever that did scramble his brain. That's what it looks like to you.
Yeah. Go ahead and back off and walk back over to the marshal. I've seen some afflictions that can present this way, and it's hard to say if he'll recover. But his brain is might have gotten boiled a little.
Well, hopefully we don't see anyone else come down with this sort of thing. I mean, like I said, this is the first I've seen, but...
Was this last night?
Let me check for you. Yes. So, yeah, he came in this morning after they had found him in the field.
Do you know who's out supposed to be night hawking tonight?
That would be... which ranch would he have been at? Blah, 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 blah. You know, I think he was night hawking out on the Jacobs homestead, but I wouldn't... They've already been through a lot. Just, if you decide to poke into that, be kind to him.
You said the Jacobs? And what happened out there?
Their girl went missing recently.
Damn. It's a rough place to be.
Well, they're pretty far out. I would be surprised if she wasn't taken by Apache if she wandered too far out.
How old was she?
They refer to her as little a lot. Which makes me think she was...
Little.
A youth.
A youth?
Yeah.
A ute. Oh.
Did you just waste a good roll?
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Yeah, but just so you know,
I hate to see
the
it.
Jacobs Ranch is northeast of town.
And the Probish mine was south of town. Right?
South of town.
Near the mine. South of town, near the mine. That's where we're headed.
So who found Marty? Do we know? Anybody?
I think it was one of Stu Jacobs' sons. Went out to relieve him in the morning.
You think this brain boiling is contagious at all?
I mean, it's hard to tell. Sometimes they are, sometimes they ain't. I wouldn't go drinking out of that same cup as him, though.
Yeah. Might want to have them...
Do we know the germ theory yet?
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
Maybe we don't
Their
know that.
humors are all out of whack.
Yeah, I was
dudes.
gonna say.
Did they
Never
wash?
mind.
Got demons in your blood. You should do cocaine about it.
They wash bedding for sick people? Probably.
I don't think so.
This is 1870.
Sure.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
why don't we
say.
start washing hands before cutting on people?
And for like childbirth. That was a big one. Wash your damn hands, you filthy hobo, before you go delivering a baby.
Louis Pasteur, 1861, discovers germ theory.
So we probably...
By the early 19th century, they were doing smallpox vaccination. So Yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty good.
Nice. No demons in our blood.
Viruses were actually discovered in the 1890s, so we're close.
They were doing vaccinations in the early 1900s?
The 19th century.
Like it's...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost like
They just
it's
didn't know
been
it was a
around
virus
for,
yet.
like-
They just knew it was for a sickness.
Almost like inoculation has been around for hundreds of years.
We're gonna need more.
Gonna need more research.
More research
more
first,
evidence.
Right, okay.
Sorry.
So,
That's what I was editing to do.
no, you're fine. But you have learned where the Provish family resides, and their mind where that is. You know that a young girl's gone missing on the other side of town. Well, on the other side of this area, anyway. And you've been warned to keep your guns with you should you leave the town. What would you like to do?
Head out to the Probish homestead and stake it out. Surveil it from a distance to see if we can see our man coming or going. That's my suggestion for catching this fella.
I could set up shop around those parts so it's not as suspicious. Or that draws a lot of attention. Actually, never mind. Never mind. I just want to continue to make a living.
Could be a good distraction. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make a living. A woman's gotta eat.
Alright. So, you're just going straight out there to check it out?
That's my suggestion. I
That's a
don't
good idea.
Reconnoiter.
reconnoiter the ridge. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't dictate.
I mean-
just say this is in my line of work. This is what I would do.
I imagine that's a good first step. If we don't hit pay dirt, maybe find out where the local whorehouses are, other than this cantina. You might show up there. Degenerates and such whatnot will find it hard to stay away.
If we don't see hide or hair of him in 2 days, we can go down to the homestead and ask directly as to his whereabouts. I'm just making up this bounty honey shit as I go, but I feel like it sounds pretty convincing.
So, talk to me a little bit about what you're trying to do, where you're going to be, if you care if people see you, what you're going to be doing.
Oh man, you definitely care. We want to camp close enough that it's easy walk or ride to, and it depends on the land, If there's like valley or whatever, you want to be up high so you can look down. But if it's like flat, then you have to approach more carefully.
Yep.
But I do have binoculars as part of my kit. So I can surveil this homestead from afar.
So, cabin is away from the hills proper where they do their mining. A little bit in a more open, easier to keep safe area out of the hills, but also provides some grazing area for what cattle they have. So are you looking at monitoring the cabin or the mine?
The cabin, the Probish homestead,
Okay.
to see if we can spot Hank coming or going.
Sure. So you are setting up out there. Do you have any skills that would help you establish yourself in a spot that would make you less noticeable to people keeping a lookout?
I have...
These are a paranoid bunch.
I have stealth. I do have survival, but not for this biome. And I do have track as well. And I feel like track, much like insight, kind of goes both ways. Where like you can spot sign, but because of your expertise in spotting it and finding it, you know how to cover your tracks or maybe also not leave them and so on. Cover your sign, so to speak. is my argument. See if that dog will hunt.
I also have disguise, if you can disguise as like a bush or something.
Oh shit, a box. Cardboard box.
Just be another cow out there. Everyone is underneath the same hide.
So you're looking to be far enough away. You don't have to be super close because you have your binoculars.
Right. Like a
I
figure.
don't know that, like for tracking, like you're not approaching in such a way that you'd have to worry about disguising your tracks so much.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and roll survival, just to see how good of a spot you can pick.
Okay. Yeah, because I figure like a camp would be like in spot A.
Right.
And then it's close enough to where you like walk daily to your surveillance point
Sure.
of their cabin.
Okay.
But we'll pick that spot with survival. What's the
This is 0.
Ooh.
oh shit!
You were so close.
I rolled a 2.
Well, you can check your
Survival.
survival.
Hell yeah.
I assume that's an extreme success.
Yes.
So yeah, you set up camp in a spot that is, because of the way the landscape is set up, there's a bit of a grade, a bit of a hill, so that your camp isn't visible from the homestead. And you found a decent enough ridge where you can come up to be able to observe. But at this time, it would be pretty late in the evening by the time you get out there to do that.
We probably just want to set up camp and surveil in the morning. And release the hounds, apparently. Dang it, Maisie.
She's like, but I'm adorable.
Look at me. Look like that class, bitches.
All right. So yeah, we can set up camp and have a plan for the morning. And on that note, have some cake.
So we'll call it for there.
It's getting on 10.
Yeah, sure.
And,
I'm good with that.
seems like a good point.
All
But
right, so everyone, before we leave, go ahead and roll your spot hidden.
Man, I should have put points into that, huh?
oh shit.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, these aren't that important. It's for flavor.
Is that 100?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I have also failed.
I have
I'm out there just like banging pots together.
clang, doing the triangle thing.
I guess it's spot
Triangle
hidden,
thing.
not stealth or
You got
whatever.
like
that's right.
your lantern up, but it's like facing right at you. Like,
Just illuminating your face. I got a 45 under 60, so normal success.
So I think to explain this fumble that occurs, what happens is that once again, as you're camping, right at the edge of the firelight, you can see a figure moving through the desert. Slowly, not approaching, but when you point them out, it startles Madame Azalea in such a way that she actually cries out.
My heavens to Betsy.
You're not sure if in this landscape anyone else did hear you, but that figure, if they heard not, doesn't seem to make any sign of it and continues slowly moving on just outside the firelight.
Whew. Okay.
Right. Thank you for listening to our first session playing Down Darker Trails in Call of Cthulhu. In this first session, you can tell, one, we're getting our recording setup figured out and everything, getting back into playing in person, which is very different and we haven't done for a very long time. But also, everybody is getting warmed up and figuring out the system together. So thank you for being with us while we did that. what you should see in future episodes, because we have recorded quite a bit of this already, is that things really warm up and really kind of take a pace all their own. This has been a really fun game, so I hope that you enjoy it as much as we have been. And we'll see you next time. Until then, spend your rage wisely. This game features content from Down Darker Trails, Shadows Over Stillwater, Call of Cthulhu, and Pulp Cthulhu, all available from Chaosium. Check the description for details. Our music and ambient sound is from tabletopaudio.com, so please check them out and support them if you could use this kind of ambiance in your game.